Jason Grilli, you're a pretty big deal. Whatever. No. All right. So, Jason.
Not anymore. I'm just beer
You know what?
and
You know.
pizza
I
now.
want to get your thoughts. So we played your video, and I looked back because you had the grilled cheese sandwich. I just wanted to look at you to see what your thoughts were, but you were so locked in on it. Were you ready to charge the
I had a little
mound?
tear.
Were you ready to charge the
I
mound?
didn't know if I should rush the stage, run out of the bullpen. I didn't know.
We knew you were gonna like that. You were juiced up.
I appreciate it. It's very,
Yeah, man.
It's very. I recently just came to town here.
Yeah.
Monday night, I was inducted to the Greater Sports Hall of Fame, which is kind of really twofold. Was I'm in awe of that. To be honored like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
From this area, to be with the class of people that I was inducted with, and it really brought some closure to my career. You never know, as a person, as a player, when something that's so near and dear to you.
Absolutely.
I was mourning my career, grieving that, to go, you always want to play. And even my dad at 70 still, wishes he
Is
could
he
do
seven?
that.
He's 70?
Yeah, he looks good, right?
He looks great.
Well, that's all what I get to look like when I'm 70. That's my DNA, so
Well,
I'm all right. I
he
know
told
I'm
me
gonna
your
be
age.
okay.
I asked. I go,
I know I'm gonna be
how's
all
Jay?
right.
And he told me your age. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
dude,
Doing all
you
right.
can still get out there.
Yeah. No, I was fooling around even too in Pittsburgh. A couple guys like, hey man, maybe make a comeback.
Do you have it in you?
I was throwing 91
Is this
after
gonna-
2 years off, and that was after my fifth bullpen. So
Are you
maybe
gonna
with a little workout-
gonna state on this program that your comeback tour?
No,
this-
I'm passing on the baton, man. It's
It's done.
it's done.
It's done.
It's done.
So let me ask you this, serious, real quick. What is your take? I've been asking everyone that comes on this program. What is your takeaway on this, man? New York State Baseball Convention. Baseball's over. It's now November 1, but we're trying to keep the conversation going in New York, man. You know how tough it is up here.
It is.
It's winter time. It's multi sport athletes up here. So
Well, the people in this room really love this game. I know that. That's
True.
one. If you love this game, for years to come, they should come out. I mean, I've never really, even embarrassed to say, I've never been to the Turning Stone just with my busy schedule.
wow.
What a facility. If this is where you guys do it, make a weekend out of it. I
Yeah.
know in years to come.
You're a Ballensville native. You've never been to the Turning Stone?
I'm not a big gambler, so
Okay.
they got some good concerts, music.
Yeah.
I need to take in some shows, good
You-
food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make 100 turn into 2,
Yeah,
maybe,
why
maybe.
not?
We'll see.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, good company, good representation of people who love the game.
Yeah.
Some tools, some people that have been in the game,
Yeah.
just trying to make the game better. Yeah, obviously other sports come into play, but baseball's a year-round sport.
It is, man. It definitely
It's
is
a
now.
year-round sport.
It almost. Do you believe in the player that just wants to be that one sport athlete, like just being a baseball player? Do you
If
agree
that's
with
what
that?
you love to do, I mean, I do believe. I played basketball.
You're tall. I can see that.
I love shooting
I
threes.
took you for more like a volleyball player.
Nah, but yeah, too tight of shorts, maybe.
Thighs were too big.
Yeah, the thighs were too
Yeah.
big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to show off.
Pitcher, lower
yeah,
half.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, yeah, it's just baseball. I always knew baseball was
Yeah.
my love, and you gotta keep talking it up.
Yeah.
It's now when you see how competitive it really is.
Yeah.
With all these tournaments and travel teams.
Yeah.
And youth sports has really gone pro.
Professional.
turned
Yeah,
pro.
you said that in your
I
speech.
said that. So I've been on Time
Yeah.
Magazine.
It
even.
is true.
It's
It is
gone
true.
pro, and I know they're not giving out scholarships at age 12.
Right.
There's no pro scouts looking at a 12-year-old throwing 85
It's
miles an
crazy,
hour.
man, isn't it?
But these are the steps you got to take. Introducing the kids. I guess what really the exposure that they're getting is huge. That's a plus.
Yeah.
Getting
They're getting
under
out
pressure.
younger than they
They're
were
getting
if
it
they're
younger,
yeah.
and there
Yeah.
is some pressure to it. I think the parents really got to tone it down, though. We've talked about that tonight. They need to tone that down and realize
Is
that.
it because they're promised something that's not being delivered?
Yeah, I think the development part is the
Yeah.
weakest part. I think people are
Like,
being
no one
oversold on.
no
Look
one
at my
is setting
uniform.
the real expectation.
Correct.
Yes.
I remember for every game I had, my best moments were my 2 or 3 practices a week
Right.
with my teammates. That's when I got better. And in upstate New York, in central New York, anywhere, I don't care where it is,
Yeah.
find a way to improve your game.
Right.
And whether it's talking it, thinking it, going in your basement, nailing up a blanket. That was old-fashioned, old school.
Wow.
We didn't have some of this nice doohickeys and things you
Don't-
can bark yourself.
Don't date yourself.
I'm dating myself.
Doohickeys.
20 years ago, doohickeys and all these things that come in
Yeah.
a crate in your mailbox right
Yeah.
to your house, hitting tools and devices,
Yeah.
technology even. I mean, there's so many things over here. It blows my mind. I go,
Yeah.
there's as much as you want, there's as less as you want. See, I was a guy that, like Mark Melancon was my teammate, right? He's an all-star, 3-time all-star pitcher. He's very complex. I didn't understand. I was like, dude, you're making this game so cerebral to me that
right.
I go, it's almost frustrating me because I go, I'm trying to take what's hard, make it simple.
Right.
I understand it's hard, but I'm trying to make it simple.
Right.
And
Simplify.
that's the way
Yeah.
I had to think about it, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
Some people like the complex. They go, okay, how can I simplify that? And then they complicate. They love talking about it.
Yeah.
They love going on about analytics and video. And to me, it's like, dude, I got to read
You're
a
like,
book. I got to do some
yeah.
other stuff.
Like I just got to locate a fastball.
I got to
like,
locate
I
a
know.
fastball. The pink elephants, you can
Yeah.
shoot them out of the sky
Yeah.
more than me. I just want one, shoot them, and then go
Yep.
on to the thing.
Yep.
So
So I wanted to ask you about the gentleman that asked the question about longevity of your career. Dude, when I watched your career, I mean, you've had some ups and downs, man. I mean, I watched. It's funny that we've only met a couple months ago at Pinnacle Athletic Campus, but I've just watching your career, being a native of Syracuse, being a local kid. Just, was there ever a time? I always wondered this because every time you come back, I remember just yelling out, "Grilli's back!" I mean, it's like, was there ever a time where you were just like, your next injury, you were just like, did you ever have like that thought, like, I'm done, man?
do you remember
I
Weekend
can't
at
do
Bernie's?
this anymore.
Remember Weekend
Yeah,
at Bernie's?
Yeah.
That was me.
I
I
mean,
loved this
seriously,
game.
though.
I loved it, man. I just didn't want to take the uniform off. I honestly,
You could have quit so many times,
I know.
dude.
I guess too, when it's your livelihood, it's all
Yeah,
it's what I
true.
knew.
Yeah.
What people don't know, I've shared
Yeah.
it. I was
Yeah.
down to my last $50,000,
Wow.
and I had my oldest son, and about a $70,000 mortgage. And I said, you know what? I got to go to the dark side of the force here, and just go, how bad do you want this? I had to get a little crazy.
I love it.
So
You're all in, man.
yeah, Seal, Crazy,
Yeah.
the song,
Yeah. All in.
all in.
Yeah, man.
You have to go a little.
That's good stuff.
I love this game, man. You have to love it to be able to go, I'm in. And I didn't cheat.
Yep. I'm happy you brought all that stuff up.
Yeah,
though, about
because
that.
it's, I mean, we all know.
Yeah.
You can take the easy road. You can cheat. You can put yourself in a better position. I could have.
Yeah.
Hard not to.
Yeah.
Can't say that I didn't think about it,
Yeah.
but I'm glad I didn't. I was always about the respect and integrity of the game. That's what my dad taught me.
Yeah.
Had lots of conversations with my dad. Family that was in the pharmaceutical business.
Yeah.
The long term didn't outweigh the short term.
Right.
For me, and it's like, if you got $10 in your pocket, and you
Yeah.
got lights come on, you got food in your refrigerator, a house over your head, shoes on your feet, like, how much do you need? And I just said, you know what? I can look at my sons
Yeah.
and tell them that, hey, I did the right thing, which
Yeah.
was something that my dad implemented in me, old school
That's awesome.
mentality. And that was my way. I'm not saying I don't
Everyone's got
blame,
their own different.
Yeah,
everyone's got
I
a
don't
different
blame
way.
some of these guys that
Yeah.
say, hey, I did it because great. That
Yeah.
was your way.
Yeah.
I just did it mine.
Yeah. So the other thing too, I was going to ask on stage, but I didn't. I should have done it. But we say the best for last.
Here you go.
What was your mentality like? I was the same way in college. Okay, I was starting pitcher up here, whatever that means. Okay, I did pretty well for myself. I go down, play school down in Florida, and I switched over. They switched me over to a relief pitcher. Can you kind of like give us an idea of what you went through mentally to prepare yourself for something like that?
Well,
Like you went from starter pitcher, I need to be throwing, think about 5, 6, 7 innings, to I need to get this guy out essentially.
Well, it was kind of funny. One guy who I really enjoyed playing with was Kenny Rogers, and it was actually the opposite when I was in Detroit. He was a reliever that became a starter, because every starting pitcher has to become a reliever at some point. You want to get yourself out of a jam, otherwise you're not going to be a starting pitcher very long.
Right.
There's an inning
Yeah.
or 2 or
Yeah.
3 or 5. Look at Scherzer.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
this World
yeah.
Series, he battled. even some of the best have to battle sometimes. And when you know you're a good pitcher is when you can get out of those situations. Even as a starter, I realized, like, and especially as a middle reliever, you're thrown into the fire right out of the gate.
Yep.
And as I spoke to at night, I said, and again, going back to Kenny Rogers, he said, being a relief pitcher made me a better starter. I said, well, being a starter made me a better relief pitcher. And he goes, we were talking about that, how our careers kind of flip-flopped in our career path. I said, because the career path of being a good middle reliever and holding inherited runners and getting out of situations,
Right.
72% or 75%, whatever the percentage was higher than 60%, which is considered doing your job.
60%.
60%. I did it at a clip that I go was best in the league. And I said to Clint Hurdle one time I was asked, I said, what do you want out of your career? I said, I want to be in the back end. If I'm going to be in the bullpen, that kind of stuff is awesome.
Right.
That's exciting.
Right.
That's where the notoriety
Dude, that's where the juice
is. That's when the juice is.
Yeah.
That's where, like, game's on the line. I got to do this.
I felt like your personality changed too.
Yeah,
did it
it
not
did.
on the mound?
It did.
Like you were more like
I was
mean,
clean
you were
cut,
relieving
sideburns,
on
Beverly Hills 902, and all
Yeah.
the sideburns
Yeah.
too.
You
Now
just dated yourself,
I'm
but
a
it's
little bit, Steel Dragon, stand up and shout. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
You can tell, you can see it. You have to be that way though, man. You gotta
But
kind
that
of like
was in
lose
me.
it.
It's weird because it
Yeah.
was in me, and then it go back.
Were you
to
comfortable in that space?
I allowed myself to. I was vulnerable to it, and I allowed myself to go, okay. And again, when you have a 3-year-old
Right.
who and a
That's
wife who is
interesting, yeah.
crying to
Yeah.
a situation in life where
Yeah.
you go, where's life going? This is what I know. Let me take this on. I got this. You guys just chill out. I
That's
got this.
awesome.
And I just bet on me. We're in a casino, so
Yeah.
we can bet on a few numbers.
Yeah,
Number
you
11, I
can.
always hit 11 black, which I'm going to hit
If
after
anyone
this
wants to.
interview. If you
Yeah.
want to know.
Yeah.
No, I just bet on me, and there's so many labels people put on you,
Yeah.
and you can either be put into successful situations or you can go against what the odds are. And
Yeah.
I felt like even as a 4th-round pick, I hit career injuries. I switched teams, started losing that lackluster of like, oh, the opportunity's kind of spoon-fed, silver spoon,
Right.
up your rear end.
No,
I
man.
didn't have that for very long.
Yeah.
I had to create that for myself. I earned
You
what
earned
I
it,
got,
man.
And it was a journey, man. I enjoyed every minute.
It was a
There's
journey.
times it was
a roller
there's a lot of
coaster.
tearjerkers, like I said, behind the scenes. You see the accolades of what I've accomplished. Say, oh, the 20-year career. But in that time, like Michael Jordan says, there's a poster of Michael Jordan. People don't see how many times he failed before he succeeded.
Right.
And there's a lot to that. When you have success, there's a lot of failure behind it. That it's nice to not talk about that.
Right.
You know, but it's the truth.
Is there to just wrap this up? I mean, is there anything you can say to like these northern baseball players from Ballinsville or from wherever, across New York State, because we're at the New York State Convention, baseball convention? Any tips you can give? Just one thing you can tell them? You know what I mean?
I think can't is a word. Like a lot of people will tell you can't, that the odds are against you. You got to want it as bad as you're breathing right now, the air that you breathe, and to keep you alive. I loved it. I wanted it more than anything in the world. And I felt if I didn't get it, at least I knew I put forth my best effort and gave it my best shot. Like I said, I wasn't the best.
Yeah.
I can truthfully say I wasn't the strongest. I wasn't certain things, but my mind, I felt, was like, I'm going to think differently. I'm going to do some things differently to be recognized, to be noticed, and hopefully then, as baseball is a confidence-based sport,
Yeah.
my
Totally.
confidence kept building. I was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And I got noticed, and it just
Yeah.
started happening. And each level, there's so many levels in between. Like I said, started out in AA, got to AAA at 20. I failed miserably.
In AAA.
In AAA, failed miserably. I had like a 7 ERA in the PCL, giving up taters left and right. I was like, wow, I need to learn. And anytime you fail in a failure-based sport, you can either do one of two things. You can crumble and give up,
Yeah.
seep
Yeah.
down, and it's easy to get buried.
Yeah.
Or,
Especially in this game.
you dust yourself off, find a way. Tomorrow's a new day, and not get trapped in that whole thing. Find a way to be confident. I'll tell you, one of my teammates in Toronto, Darwin Barney, he was one of the B squad. We call it the B squad, right? We had $70 million of payroll on the DL.
Yeah.
He stepped up. He was hitting till his hands literally were bleeding till after the game, sometimes 1, 2 in the morning. People didn't know this. He was coming up big in the games to play. This is a guy who was maybe making $1 million or $2 million.
Wow.
Not a high dollar guy.
Right.
But he kept us afloat.
Alive.
His energy, his coming up with big plays.
Wow.
That infectious, like the drive. That's the stuff behind the scenes they do movies about.
Yeah.
But
That was
actually,
happening.
It does happen.
Yeah.
It does happen behind the scenes.
So basically, I guess the message is, if you want to be good or great in this sport, it doesn't mean being an all-star, or
No.
being a professional, just being the best you can be. It's just got to be all in, man.
Yeah, be all
Are you
in.
all in?
Give it your best shot. Sometimes it's about making that productive out.
That's
setting
it.
your next guy up. Sometimes you have to accept failure, even in the situations where you want to be the hero.
Right.
It's not your turn.
That's deep.
It's very deep.
That's deep.
And we don't have enough time on this green screen. I mean, I don't know what you're going to put back here, but it's better
just gonna
be
the logo.
awesome.
Jason,
It's gonna
thanks,
be awesome.
man.
Hey,
Appreciate
hope
it.
to see you again.